Hello, everyone. I am here with Dr. Tameka Lim. She is our acupuncturist and Chinese medicine doctor, and we are going to talk about pandemic anxiety today. So, Dr. Tameka, will you tell us that just about through your lens of your discipline, what are the most common symptoms you've seen in working with pandemic anxiety?
Yeah, thank you, Crystal, for having me. So I generally see symptoms that any other provider would see, such as changes in someone's sleep patterns, changes to appetite and diet habits, changes in energy and circadian rhythms, um, changes in thought patterns and emotions, and physical changes in their health, such as increase in pain or discomfort, such as racing heart, sweating. I've seen hair loss, skin presentations, those types of things.
Mm, thank you. Thank you for giving us a little insight into what you've been seeing and working with. And how do you work with these symptoms, and what are some of your recommendations?
Well, Chinese medicine takes a unique point of view in that all of these symptoms are rooted in the emotions. Chinese medicine very much looks at how disease manifests through the emotions. If we're talking about communicable diseases, um, and most importantly, when we're talking about feelings of anxiety or worry, we're talking about aspects of what we call the Shen.
Mm,
The Shen has many different meanings in Chinese medicine, but roughly it translates to what we refer to as the mind. We also consider aspects of the spirit, which is separate than that of the Shen. There are five total spiritual aspects, actually, and they are the ethereal soul, which is called the Hun, and it resides in the liver, and it
mm,
is the emotions of anger or frustration. The corporal soul, which is called Po, and resides in the lungs. And this is really about processing grief. The intellect, or the Yi, resides in the spleen, and this is manifests in terms of worry or rumination. And then we have the willpower, or called the jur, and this resides in the kidney. And this really revolves around the feelings of fear.
mm,
And then there's the mind itself, or the Shen, which resides in the heart. And that is sort of the emperor organ.
mm.
And that it kind of brings together and manages all aspects of these five spiritual aspects. So treatment, it would really be about looking at how anxiety is manifesting for each individual person. For example, if we look at something like appetite, one person might lose their appetite during feelings of anxiety, and another person appetite might go up, and they might um, look for palliation with consumption of food. So we're looking at those relationships and finding where the imbalance is coming from, and then coming up with a treatment plan to correct that. This may involve Chinese medicinal herbs or acupuncture, or both.
Mhm. I am so appreciative of how well you just gave us insight into these different aspects of ourselves and how Chinese medicine would approach working with them. And it's so clear to me how, um, especially during this pandemic, how each of us might be experiencing this differently. So, our body and our stress response, our patterning is going to look different from each person.
Yes.
And so it just is so loud and clear to me that you have this amazing tool set in working with each person's patterning and their individual needs.
Yes, it's there is I'm not against, an allopathic approach, and there's definitely an appropriate time, for pharmaceutical medication, but it generally doesn't take into account the nuances of each individual person. And that is rooted in the idea of holistic medicine, that for one person, their anxiety is going to present differently than another person. And that is really important to acupuncture and Chinese medicine practitioners.
Mm. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Dr. Tameka,
You're very welcome.
and I look forward to interviewing you for future topics.
Thank you very much, Crystal. Thank you for having me.
Hmm. If you found anything in that interview with Dr. Tameka, please reach out if you'd like to learn more. Our website is vancouverwellnessstudio.com, and we look forward to chatting with you.